Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the JB and Millie channel. I'm JB and today we're going to be discussing Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2 and the reasons why we think it could have been cancelled. Now if you do want to see more content around Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo and the Crypto 2 movie, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We've made a few videos about Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2 in the past, including a really in-depth discussion where we kind of spill a bit of the tea that we know behind the scenes as well, so I'll link that in the description too. I hope that you do enjoy that after. But for people watching this that don't know too much of the background detail, Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2 has long been rumoured now to be in the works. I think even for a couple of years, predating even when we first made our Scooby-Doo videos. But that being said, we didn't really see anything concretely about it until about a month ago when the whole movie was leaked online, and a lot of people have been saying, this is a David Zaslav tax write-off that's been resurfaced. And I will say, my own personal opinion is that Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2 is cancelled and it's not going to be officially released, but I do want to stress that at no point has Warner Brothers said that it's cancelled. At no point has any sources on the inside come out and said that it's a cancelled, movie. So people saying it's confirmed to be cancelled is just a flat out lie, and it's absolute misinformation that's been spread to the point where it's on the cancelled movies wiki and it's not been confirmed. It's my opinion that it's cancelled, but I do want to point out that in no way, shape or form has that been confirmed. But going off the fact that I think it's cancelled, I kind of want to find out why, because no one's mentioned it being for tax purposes, and with the person that we did speak to, it doesn't even seem like tax was really in the equation when this was in the works. That seems to be more of an issue that's plagued the likes of Holiday Haunt, Haunted High Rise and stuff like that. But then I saw an article that was proposed by Discussing Film, sourcing the Toronto News. I'm just going to flash that on screen now. So Discussing Film reported that James Gunn confirmed that Crypto the Superdog will indeed be appearing in Superman Legacy. Superman Legacy being James Gunn's future project. It's a DC film. Supposedly it's going to be like one of the first ones after the whole Arrow and Flash reboot or whatever they're doing. I really don't know what they're doing currently with DC, apart from the fact that the Flash is going to be maybe a soft reboot, maybe not. I guess we'll see when that movie comes out. But why would this change anything? Why would Crypto being in Superman Legacy have impacted Scooby-Doo? It sounds pretty bizarre, pretty strange, right? But then that kind of reminded me of something that I read about years and years and years ago. So I'm going to flash back to the times of the Arrowverse. So on screen right now we have to the left hand side Deathstroke aka Slade Wilson, and to the right we have Oliver Queen aka the Green Arrow. I know I kind of did that in reverse order, but one of them's masked, one of them's not. I think we kind of get the picture. Now why I'm showing you these, I promise it's going to pay off in the end. But some background story. Deathstroke is a character that is absolutely involved with the Arrowverse, and especially Oliver Queen's backstory, having mixed origins on the island where Oliver Queen was stranded. I mean, you can't watch season 1, season 2, and I think even season 3 of the Arrow and not see Deathstroke as being pretty much the main antagonist for the most part. Like, wherever Arrow is, Deathstroke is. Almost the relationship of a Batman and a Joker, a Flash and a Reverse Flash, any type of that, that you can think of. It's pretty much that dynamic. And it continued to be that way until the DCEU wanted to use Deathstroke in the movies, the Justice League movies. And for some reason I was seeing, and I was subscribed to a few channels at the time, keeping up with articles, that meant that per DC's rules, they couldn't feature Deathstroke in any of them shows anymore. We will dive into this in a bit more detail, but just look at this from Fansided. It could be a while before Slade Wilson appears in the Arrowverse again, as executive producer Mark Guggenheim revealed that the character is once again off limits for Arrow. Another source that reported this was the top webpage search appears to be from Digital. Arrow is banned from bringing Manu Bennett back as Deathstroke because of the new DC movie. So it does seem like that is very much the case, but let's just let's delve a bit deeper into this topic and exactly why this is the case. And of course we're going to be sourcing CBR, who is a good reputable web page that I've sourced us on a few occasions. So we're going to be using them for this, and I'm going to be linking their article in the description down below. As per CBR, it reads, fans of Manu Bennett's popular take on Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke, are in for some bad news. It sounds like the iconic mercenary won't be returning to the Arrowverse anytime soon. Arrow executive producer Mark Guggenheim revealed at Ace Comic Con that his series can no longer feature Deathstroke. And this is a quote now. For a time, DC was saying you can't use Deathstroke, and then that changed and we were able to have Slade Wilson back on the show, Guggenheim explained in an interview with Discussing Film. Now we're back to you can't use him. Slade Wilson was a character who, and this is off the quote now, Slade Wilson was a character who had a very big presence back in the first 2 seasons of Arrow. Although many fans called for an encore, the character didn't return until the closing episodes of season 5, and in a recent 2-episode stint as part of the series' 6th season. Now it sounds like Slade won't be available for the foreseeable future. And this is back on the quote. There are DC characters, we're just renting them, Guggenheim said. We use the characters that they tell us we can use when we can use them. Off the quote. So what could have sparked the sudden policy change on DC's part? The executive producer has the answer. Now back on the quote. They're working on the feature film version, he said, referring to Deathstroke's surprise appearance in Justice League's after credits stinger. Now, when will Deathstroke appear next then? We don't know, but it won't be in the Arrowverse, that's for sure. So, now does things start making a little bit more sense? If James Gunn is planning on using Krypto in the big Superman movie, then it makes sense that if the Arrowverse weren't allowed to use Deathstroke, a character that is so entrenched within the story of Oliver Queen, of Arrow, of those origin stories, if they're not even allowed to mention a pre-established version of that character, then is it entirely possible that James Gunn wanting to use Krypto, he doesn't want any other media to touch it, be it a TV show, a crossover movie, an animated film? 100%. But again, the whole premise on the start was, let's not read anything, let's not believe just a headline. Let's delve into the article. And a big problem with this theory is that it actually doesn't even seem like James Gunn confirmed Krypto's appearance in the first place. This was the original source, the original interview that claimed that James Gunn was planning on using Krypto the Superdog in the movie. That's what we saw from Discussing Film and all of that. So I'm just going to read the background now, and then we're going to get to the meat a little bit later on. So, the interviewer appears to ask, how did you make peace with saying goodbye? Gunn's response was, I'm not a person who is comfortable saying goodbye. I can't do it. Pratt rebuts, we don't have to say goodbye. Gunn jokes, I'm going to cry. Pratt, are you crying? The frequency with which we spend time together is inevitably going to go down because he's going to go to do movies and I'm going to make movies, and when we're not doing that, we're going to go back to our families. But we will make time for each other and we'll talk a lot. We'll always be friends. We still have a long life ahead of us, so maybe we'll work together again. But for now, there's a finality to this trilogy. Okay, so I like that. We get the background. So there is a bit of joking, obviously, and I mean, I didn't find a video for this, so we're not to know if when James Gunn says, I'm going to cry. Now, from my point of view, and maybe, and I did try and do my due diligence, as I always preach on our channel, I couldn't find an interview for this. So if James Gunn's saying, I'm going to cry, it could be, oh, I'm going to cry. Or he could literally have tears in his eyes, saying wholeheartedly, I'm gonna cry. But, I do think we can come at this as a joking perspective, although I do think it's important to leave the context up here so that people understand, I guess, the thing that happens or the thing that's said next. So Gunn responds to that, I was hoping I could cast you as Krypto the Superdog in Superman Legacy. You could do motion capture on set and walk around on your hands and knees, but you can't talk. Pratt, I'll do Krypto, but you have to pay me in Krypto. Gunn, I'll pay you in Krypto, which amounts to $0. Laughs. Pratt, it sounds like there's gonna be a character called Krypto in Superman. Breaking news. The interviewer responds, that's a scoop for me. Gunn replies, it is a scoop, I guess. And then Pratt jokes, way to go, you're fired, back to Marvel. Laughing. Now, I do think that seems like a joke, because Crypto, I mean, in the Scooby-Doo crossover, again, can't talk. So Gunn was like, yeah, but you can't talk. You can walk on your hands on the. I mean, that all does sound like a joke, like a bit, like saying to Chris Pratt, "Oh, I'll cast you as a character. You'll just act like a normal dog, but you can't talk." I mean, on one hand, I can see for a movie version, maybe you don't want Crypto to talk, and there is a history of that within Scooby. But I also know that there are some where Crypto can talk. But the point is, it does seem like James Gunn, for the most part, is joking about the character of Crypto, and thus, by proxy, we can insinuate that maybe he's joking about Crypto's inclusion entirely. So, is Crypto going to appear in James Gunn's Superman Legacy? Maybe yes, maybe no. I wouldn't take it as confirmed, but the point of this whole video is, he did mention Crypto the Superdog, no matter what, and people have picked up on that. And also, we know that DC has a history of limiting where the characters can be used when they're intended for a big movie that's either going to come out soon or going to come out in the near future. So it is very possible that, maybe not James Gunn, but DC in general is saying to the likes of the directors or the people behind Warner Brothers Animation that work on Scooby, we're actually intending for Crypto to be used here, so this movie, but maybe going to have to put it to the back burner for the time being. The only point I can see against this is the fact that we had the Super Pets relatively recently, a movie that prominently featured Crypto the Superdog. But I don't know, depending on how far Superman Legacy is, I may not even be surprised if Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2 comes out as a way to help promote that if Crypto is featured in. But it's a whole situation that I don't fully understand. But what do you guys think? If you do have an opinion on this, comment down below. Do you think that Crypto the Superdog is going to be in Superman Legacy? And if so, do you think that this is what's actually keeping Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2 from being officially released? If you do want to see more videos from us, then please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.